I'm defending Sia and her autism hiring choice or lack of hiring an autistic person for her movie music. Hey Gucci Gang, I'm Joe Sooch. First thing I want to say is that I'm not autistic. Does that invalidate my entire defending argument? Possibly. Hey, I'm severely disabled. I'm in the same arena as you guys, and we are talking about representation. I can't move my limbs basically. My arms are in a fixed position and I can't move my neck, and people think I'm autistic all the time or that I have a learning disability. That's totally understandable. Do I like it? No. Is it understandable? Yes. Can I do anything to change that? No. Society will be society, and I can only hope I represent myself well to influence the people around me. With that being said, my representation of myself resets every time I meet a new person, and I'm back to society ways, or society norms, or society rules. I find society to be a giant game and have to follow the rules, or you will be punished. If you go out of the norm, you will be ostracized and more alone. It's what people value in their lives, singularity or groupies. This whole video is about Sia's movie called Music, and she hired a neurotypical person, or basically a regular person, to act as an autistic person named Music. And Sia is getting a ton of backlash from everywhere, and she did nothing right. I watched tons of videos to try to understand the situation from Sia's perspective and from an autistic and outside perspective, including Paige Leal, Chloe Hayden, Cynical Reviews, and Jesse Gender. Try to understand before making my own and basically controversial opinion from the title of this video. I know it is controversial, but hey, I have my own opinion. Should Sia have hired an autistic person to play music? Yes and no. She didn't have to. Sia says that she hired an autistic person and that actor quit because it was too stressful for her to handle her role. Here's the tweet Sia said. I agree, I never refer to music as disabled. Special abilities is what I have always said, and casting someone at her level of functioning was cruel, not kind, so I made the executive decision that we would be our best to levelly represent the community. Ask Sia from Twitter. So to me, her vision of an autistic child is what was in the movie. She had a vision and executed. We can all agree autism is on a spectrum and not linear. Autism affects everyone differently. Sia had one person in mind and did the movie. I defend her because there was no way she could hire an autistic actor or even an autistic person to have all the traits in the movie and that person be okay with that. The actor is portraying a stereotype. According to dictionary.com, it is a widely held but fixed and oversimplified image or idea of a particular type of person or thing. So if autistic people got offended because of music stimming, for people that do not know, it is repeated body movements, sounds, or words often respond to heightened emotions or stimulation. Like, then how is anyone supposed to show what stimming is or what autism is if you can't replicate their traits? Can't have a name tag and say I have autism and call it a day. A personal answer though is needed here. I am a YouTuber with an extreme disability. I feel I know who I am, how I act, the way I talk, etc. Just like all of us. Then I started making videos. I started filming myself and started seeing myself from an outside perspective. The way I talk, the way I walk, interact, do normal things. There are many things I didn't realize that I always do or that I always don't talk properly to my speech impediment or that my walking is extremely weird. It is one thing to think you're totally different, another thing to see it being filmed in this raw medium. I have to sit back and go, that's me. And be amazed and embarrassed, and how in the world am I living in that body? Back to the autism situation. Let's say they hired an autistic person. A single person wouldn't have all the traits that music has, so that autistic person would then have to act. So as long as the person is autistic, then it's okay. But then is it okay that an autistic person just be hired to be pigeonholed? Wouldn't a person want to be hired based on their ability and not just, oh, I have autism, I am a shoo-in? Everybody says music is a stereotype when she did her Sims because nobody really sees themselves in the third person like I do on a daily basis watching my own videos. Also, it is a film. If an autistic person having an overload of stimuli, they're not going to spend 30 minutes showing them being calm however they are calmed. It is a movie, not a documentary. There are many films that aren't even accurate either. That's how films new or from the past 100 years or however long film has been around, even story time where I'm sure people exaggerated details or added details to enhance the story. Hell, I do in my video to make it more interesting. Also, we are talking about a full-length film. Ask any autistic person, they said they are exhausted at the end of the day, masking themselves or dealing with their inner complexity that I would never fully understand or even know. Filming a Sia movie would be exhausting. Asking actors and they are filming for a long period of time. Do the scene again and again. Could be an autistic person do it. Maybe. It's a gamble. Sia knew what she was envisioning and made a judgment call that an autistic person couldn't handle the role on set. People even said that they couldn't watch the film because it wasn't autism friendly. Imagine being on set and having to do a scene again and again. What if the autism actor quit halfway through? All that time is wasted and I have to start from scratch. Can't have two different actors to play the same role. The actor playing music was a child, so she could only work X amount of hours and such. It costs a lot of money to run a studio per day. If you were a business person, wouldn't you hire a person that can get the job done as efficiently as possible and have the same results? If an autistic person couldn't handle it, it would delay production, and Sia is an artist, so she couldn't execute her vision. So Sia hired someone who could execute her vision and also not force an autistic person to be in an uncomfortable position health-wise. It comes down to, do you execute your vision or be mindful of everybody and sacrifice so everybody is comfortable? Everybody would choose the obvious and say everybody is comfortable. My problem is that if everything was comfortable, nothing would get done. It would cost triple the budget and no boundaries would be pushed ever. The best things in life are when boundaries are pushed. If not, we work 2 hours a day and sit around. The society doesn't work that way. She took information from her 3 years of research on autism, and this film is her representation of her art. To me, it's a film on her artistic expression. I can pinpoint so many other things that is wrong with the film, like the woman having short hair. Typically, women have long hair. Should I be outraged by that? Should I? It's not a fair representation of women. Walk on the street and many have long hair. Maybe one will have short. This is one person with autism. Nobody's gonna watch that movie and actually learn anything. It was terribly wrong for somebody to restrain another person like they did in the movie. Let's be realistic. No person in public would go on another person to calm them, unless they want to hurt them. Like if someone's having a meltdown, a person close to them should know how to act towards them. Back to autism, where everybody had a different way of being calmed. A random person on the street will not help and just be a bystander. Someone will literally have to go, call 911 or give me space or water or whatever they need. Now you're going to be saying, I am promoting ableism, sure, but not every disabled person can be in every role and job and has to be accommodated. Does it suck? Yes. But business is business. People don't have to accommodate, and it's their business and their choice. I did move to the next one and prove my worth to the next person. If they see me prospering and know they f***ed up, then it's on them. I can't keep complaining to every situation that doesn't go my way. Even if it's a large movie produced by Sia, another opportunity will come around. It's not Sia's job to represent the whole autistic community, and it's impossible really. There are millions of artists out there. She just wanted to make a film on her artistic expression. Let the autism community or organization create a positive light on them. There are some great autistic people who are thriving and killing it, and way more successful than I ever will be in their own ways. Some can be found due to their large following, but I'm sure there are many who are thriving but can't showcase it or not showing it. Also, there are many who are really struggling because society wasn't built for them. These organizations could hire a director and hire autistic people, right? And not just a 3-minute film I see on the autism website. I am not wrong. Should they hire a fully autistic staff? So now there seems to be a line where an autistic person can fill every role. People say they can do everything, but can they really? No. There is a line of how much they can do. Just like a person can only lift X weight. There is a limit. I can't go to the moon because the spaceship is not wheelchair accessible. Should I complain and make it wheelchair accessible? No. I accept it. I can't go to space and move on with my life. Come on, Elon Musk. Invite me. There are directors I met just 2 days ago and they purposely hired disability actresses. I didn't watch their films because they haven't been released yet, but they seem to have compelling stories for me to care instead of, oh, they are just disabled. Having a good plot with decent actors will make a movie great. There are autistic people who you'd never see because live music has huge problems in social settings where the safest and least stressful place is being at home. I've seen them. I grew up with them. I see them try to socialize. Call me judgmental, but they will never be able to go blend in with society. There are autistic people who can mask because they have to or will be forever ostracized. And there are those who can't change due to its difficulty. Some are not even diagnosed properly, so they can't get the proper help. That's a huge problem in itself. If an autistic actor says they can sing and dance and act, then why don't they recreate the movie to prove they do it just as well? The movie is made so they can recreate a lot of dancing. Maybe not the same quality and budget. If an autistic person can handle the role, how come there aren't more people who have big roles who just happen to have autism? Not people hired because they need to fill out the autism role. Disability people are begging to be treated the same, but then you can't pick autism roles. You'll never be treated the same just in autism roles. Have to take roles that can be played by a regular person too. Is it ableism or is there a very small group to choose from? Even if there are people that are autistic, are they even good at acting to get these bigger roles? There is a reason Leonardo DiCaprio or Dustin Hoffman were paid millions to play their roles. There is something more. Even if Sias hired an autistic person, would it change the landscape much? No. The only career it would help would be the actual person hired. Maybe not, since the film did not receive good ratings apart from the backlash. It could have hurt the autism community even more because the argument could be switched like, oh, this autistic person didn't do a good job acting. But at least we can say we have an autistic person acting. Woo! A bad acting job could ruin the progress that the autism community can be successful in every job category. If autistic people or a disabled person like me want to be respected as a normal class of people, we gotta take roles that a regular person can do. Not to tell, oh, they need a disabled person to fill the spot. I'm disabled and trying to be a content creator. Is it harder for me than the average person? Absolutely. But I keep going till someone finds me, watch my videos, and prove my worth. I have to push ourselves to create an opportunity. Not just wait for an opportunity to present itself, then fill the role. I'm pushing the envelope of what a disability person can do. So what if a person is not really in a wheelchair? It shows representation. But so what? I want to see them in bigger roles. Let's think bigger. Also, one last thing. Everyone kept saying how bad Sia did to represent the autism community. People should have stepped up on how to act with autism in a stress situation or a good way to emulate instead of saying everything Sia did was bad. People could have used it as a stepping stone to teach the audience since everybody was so desperate to have good representation of it. But you may see it suicidal and say how bad she was. I didn't see how to act with an autistic person. At least give an example of something to learn instead of this is exactly what not to do. Most people will watch your video and say Sia is bad in some technical terms, but won't get any practical knowledge. They won't go watching other videos or do more research. Everybody knows you watch one video, then maybe 20% of the viewers will watch another one. For my research, to calm an autist is to remove them from the setting. Go to a calmer place that has less noise and things going on. A bathroom is great in a pinch or a car. Headphones are useful to drown out the noise from the outside and have more familiar and comfortable sounds instead. You basically want to create a less busy surrounding as many autists get extremely overwhelmed. These YouTubers talk like everyone knows everything about autism. A casual viewer doesn't know how bad the organization Autism Speaks is. If you type Autism Speaks, nothing bad shows till the bottom of the page. Who scrolls to the bottom of a Google search, honestly? Also, Sia did research for 3 years, so some of the creators weren't making these videos to begin with 3 years ago. It is easier now to know these organizations suck. As a casual person, they don't know. Sia didn't know. She probably casually looked up Autism Speaks and called it a day. I think doing 3 years of research is bullshit and could have found more information. Sia just had a vision of a movie and executed it. For the people who do not know, Autism Speaks is an organization that is trying to get rid of autism. Also want to have more mandated tests to know if a baby is autistic or will have Down to give the mother a chance to abort. I know I have a controversial opinion. Maybe I will make a video in a few years apologizing for the way I was thinking about them with my experience. This is my take on the situation, and people are free to tell me how great or horrible or wrong I am. This is my opinion and I own it. If you're watching Sia, hey, yes, you did say things that ruffled a lot of feathers. Some things I can agree with you, like autists are gonna love this movie. They couldn't even watch it. That's a huge oversight there. A lot more than nitpick, but I support you hiring a non-autistic actor for that role since that's what it was really all about. Thanks for watching, I'll catch you in the morning.